Activists in Bashkortostan are sentenced to 15 years of imprisonment on charges of organizing public officials by attacking public officials. Russian officials, after a large protest in the central region of Bashkortostan, has fought serious accusations against 4 people. In local media, security forces in city of Ufa in Ural Mountains arrested 4th suspect on Sunday evening. Slaps follow thousands of protests last week about the imprisonment of the domestic rights activist. He was fast because he fell into an opposition show. Davletkilin was sentenced to 4 years in Alsynov's criminal colony on Wednesday after the penalty was taken into custody after being called by the police in Baymak town. Ovn-info monitoring group. Alsynov's other activists, the Mass Rebellions organization, and the attack by public officials reported. OVD-info added that the authorities have filed less administrative lawsuits by accusing the demonstrators of participating in unapproved rallies. In Baymak, east of 1,400 kilometers in Moscow, the same court sentenced Alsynov encouraged ethnic hatred last week, and sentenced a few people to 15 days imprisonment for joining protest. The accusations against Alsynov watched a speech he delivered last year as locals opposed plans for development of gold mine. Regional governor said that the activist made racist comments about people from Central Asia and the Caucasus. Alsynov claims that his words were misrepresented by Bashkir language. Protesters said that activists successfully prevented plans for soda on a hill accepted as sacred by the locals, and delayed the revenge of his role in protests years ago. Big protests in Russia due to the risks of arrest are rare. Thousands of people were detained for opposing the war in the last 2 years. The indigenous peoples from all over Russia, usually from regions with a small number economic expectations, were actively courted by recruitment officials and represented intensively on the ranks of Russia. Sent to the front Ukraine. Alsynov was fined for criticizing online invasion, saying that the war was not in interests of Bashkortostan last year. In 2020, region, which was banned as Bureau pro-extremist organization, is chaired by Bashkort, base movement that works to protect culture, language and ethnic identity of people. Bashkortostan is an oil-producing region of 4.1 million people and is one of more than 80 beings that make up the Russian Federation. The Bashkir Ethnic Minority is among the 260,000 people of Russia. Known to Russia, indigenous peoples living in Russia have fought for a long time to protect their rights and traditional regions in areas used for natural resources such as mining.